If you have ever been told you are too nice, you might have shrugged it off as a compliment in disguise. But being excessively agreeable often comes with its unsaid dangers. Maybe you always say yes to things you don't want to do, or push yourself too hard to please others. But over time, these behaviors can leave you feeling drained, unappreciated, and even resentful. Stoicism teaches us the importance of this balance, of being kind and assertive without sacrificing our well-being. But how do we strike that balance? Why is being too nice sometimes harmful? Let's look closer at the fine line between kindness and self-neglect. Imagine this. You are the person who people turn to for help. Whether covering someone's shift at work, listening to a friend vent, or taking on extra tasks, you are the go-to person. You say yes because it feels good to be needed, and maybe you even believe it's your duty. But over time, you notice something. While you constantly give, no one seems to be there when you need help. You feel exhausted and unappreciated, and yet you keep giving. Why? Overgiving can become addictive. You get a temporary sense of validation whenever you say yes. It feels good to be seen as helpful, reliable, and selfless. But like any addiction, it comes with a cost. You might think you are building strong relationships, but often overgiving creates unbalanced relations where you are taken for granted. We often fall into the trap of overgiving without even realizing it. Society has glamorized those who always put others first, painting them heroes. But constantly being the go-to person for everyone's needs doesn't make you heroic. It burns you out. We are forced to believe that giving more is always better, but that belief comes with a price. When you keep saying yes to others without stopping to think about your own needs, you are heading straight toward emotional and physical exhaustion. It's like running a marathon where you never get a chance to catch your breath. Mentally, you become overwhelmed. Physically, you are always running on fumes, and emotionally, you start feeling hateful, even toward the people you care about most. Over time, this constant state of giving takes a toll, leaving you drained and unable to function. The ancient Stoics grappled with a similar problem, but they discovered a path that could help us handle the thin line between being kind and being a doormat. The Stoic approach to kindness is all about balance. It's not just about giving until you are drained, it's about giving smartly. Stoics believe that self-care is not some selfish act, but the foundation of lasting generosity. Epictetus, one of the key Stoic thinkers, put it simply, "He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not." It's a reminder that we shouldn't run ourselves dry trying to meet everyone else's needs, especially when we don't have the resources or energy to give. Mindful giving, in Stoic philosophy, is about knowing your limits and being aware of what you can realistically offer without sacrificing your own well-being. You don't have to prove your kindness by burning yourself out. Instead, true strength lies in using your energy wisely, making sure you are actually in a position to help before offering it. The Stoics believed that sustainable help comes from a place of self-respect. Taking care of yourself first is the best way to ensure that you can continue to offer real support to others. When you prioritize your well-being and set clear boundaries, your generosity becomes more meaningful and beneficial. Imagine a juggler on a stage balancing multiple balls in the air, desperately trying not to let any fall. This juggler represents those who struggle with setting boundaries, believing that if they keep everything in motion, they will impress the audience. However, this constant juggling can lead to indiscipline, exhaustion, and burnout. Setting boundaries is essential for a fulfilling life, and the Stoic approach offers a valuable point of view. Epictetus teaches us that saying no is a skill worth learning, as it helps prevent overwhelm. By recognizing our limits, we can focus our energy on what truly matters rather than spending it on too many obligations. Saying no is not selfish. It's a declaration of self-respect. When we honor our needs and limitations, we are honest with ourselves and those around us. This respect builds healthier relationships and a clearer sense of purpose, allowing us to contribute more effectively in the areas that genuinely matter to us. Take the example of a young apprentice who eagerly accepted every task, believing it would prove his dedication. However, his overcommitment left him frustrated and unable to perform his best at any task. As a result, his efforts became less, and the impact and potential he wanted to show were no longer there. By setting boundaries and prioritizing tasks, he could have focused on mastering specific skills, slowly leading to greater success. But instead, it was wasted on spreading himself too thin, and the progress he could have made slipped away. Now, all of that makes sense, but how do we actually break free from this cycle of overcommitment and unmet potential? The Stoics didn't just identify the problem, they offered tools to fix it. If you've been nodding along, wondering how to apply this to your own life, let's talk solutions. First, learn to distinguish between what you can control and what you can't. Epictetus often emphasized this in his teachings. Some things are up to us and some things are not. Trying to make everyone happy or avoiding conflict at all costs falls into the category of things outside your control. Instead, focus on how you respond. For example, when someone pressures you to take on an extra task at work, pause and ask yourself, am I taking this on because I truly can or because I feel obligated? If it's the latter, politely decline. Practicing this simple mental filter can help you reclaim your time and energy. Second, embrace discomfort as part of growth. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Saying no, setting boundaries, and risking someone's disapproval can feel deeply uncomfortable, especially if you've spent your life trying to be agreeable. But discomfort is the price of personal growth. Start small, decline a minor request, or speak up about your preferences in a low-stakes situation. Over time, these small acts of courage build your confidence. Third, practice self-reflection daily. Seneca suggested ending each day by asking yourself, what bad habit did I overcome today? What weakness did I resist? What good did I gain? Use this practice to evaluate your interactions. Did you say yes to something out of fear of judgment? Were there moments when you honored your own needs? Journaling about these questions can help you spot patterns and course correct over time. Finally, define your priorities and live by them. The Stoics believed in living a life of purpose. Write down your top 3 priorities, whether it's excelling at work, nurturing close relationships, or maintaining your health, and let them guide your decisions. When new demands arise, ask yourself if they align with your priorities. If they don't, let them go. Think of it this way. Being kind doesn't mean being available for everyone all the time. It means being clear about what you stand for and having the strength to say no when something doesn't align with your values or your well-being.